coffee for the benefit of stakeholders. Planting coffee seedlings, mulching, training coffee seedlings, and stamping coffee. Farmers are encouraged to adopt good agricultural practices to get high yields, good prices, and better income from coffee. These tips are brought to you by Uganda Coffee Development Authority.
Do you have a business that you are looking to grow? Advertising with Church of Uganda Family TV is the way to go. We are located on Church House, level 13, along Kampala Road. We offer favorable rates and an extremely creative production team that will work with you to take your business to the next level. To give us a ring, call us on 0781 084215 or 0750 655232. Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
With 200 million people aged between 15 and 24, Africa has the youngest population in the world. This can either be an opportunity or a ticking time bomb. At Young and Flourishing Hub, we seek to turn these numbers into an opportunity for Africa to become a global leader. Join us every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Church of Uganda Family TV as we take you through the discussion of different topics that will enable you to become world-class leaders and mentors, grow your finances, and become world-class innovators. Young and Flourishing, transforming Africa.
Do you know that you can now enjoy great enriching shows anywhere through the Family TV app? Here is how to download it. Open Play Store on your phone. Search for the Family TV app. Click Install. After installing it, open it and enjoy enriching content anywhere, everywhere, anytime. Family TV, enriching lives.
As you think about the Lord just taking over your case and you are no longer in the midst of it, and He says, fear not.
Demons from the mountains, scream and leave. In the name of demons from the graves, scream and leave in the name of Jesus.
Thank you so much for staying with us here at Church of Uganda Family TV. My name is Byron, Biryaho, and today with me, we all know that I've been mentioning this, that March is the month of women. We celebrate them, we talk about them, we discuss them. Last week on Tuesday, I think, was International Women's Day, where we were celebrating women worldwide. And today with me, we continue some of the conversations we had then about gender equality, opportunities and whatnot. But we carry on the discussion today with my guest of the day, Miss Judith Owembabazi, founder and CEO of Goldbird Communications. But I'm sure you do many other things
Yes,
apart from
do.
that. But thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here this morning.
Yes, Judith, just tell us who you are, what does Goldbird do exactly, and why are you I know you're passionate about this subject, and tell us why are you very passionate about this subject of women?
Well, Byron, I'm very honored to be here this morning, and I praise God for this opportunity to be able to talk about this subject that is very dear to my heart, and that's the girl child. Because I've been one in real life, and even now as an older person, the girl child in me is still alive.
Yes.
And so my name is Owembabazi Judith. I have children. I am a mother. I have two beautiful daughters and two very handsome sons. And therefore, it's going to be difficult to talk about the girl child without bringing the boy child to the table.
Okay.
So you will allow me digress also to the boy child, because this conversation will be incomplete without it. What do I do? I'm a jack of many trades. I know most people have known me from my banking. I have served in most of the banks here: Housing Finance, Eco Bank, Bank of Uganda, a bit of Stanbic when it was also still UCB as an intern, and the Central Bank.
Yeah.
So I've done my fair share of banking. But even as a banker, my concern was always issues of the youth, issues of women at work, issues of equality and inequality, issues of boardroom matters when it comes to women, and issues of education, because I'm also a founder of Goldbird International Nursery and Preschool in Bukoto.
Yeah.
And currently at Goldbird Communications, we are focusing on a program called Check-in Africa, strictly looking at youth issues, women issues. How do we touch, how do we empower, not just have narratives.
Yes.
And so today, I hope that we can engage our audience on tangibilities, not just on statistics.
Yeah.
I will run statistics and tell you, before COVID, 3 million young people were not in school. After COVID, there's a projection from the UNICEF of about another 40%, so that makes it about 7.5 million. But what does that mean? Of those, there are many young girls that are bright. So there is a lot that we are going to talk about right
That is
today.
true.
Yes.
That is very true. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Allow me to start with International Women's Day. Their theme was gender equality, and it was about breaking the bias. There seems to be a particular bias about women. And the truth is, Ms. Judith, I feel like we have had this discussion for a long time. Every year, since I was in primary school, there was a whole girl child thing. I mean, what?
And the 1.5 points
And
to the
yes,
university.
there was
and
a
all of this
1.5,
stuff.
and then there are all these things.
Yes.
Maybe if you can help me break it down. Are we making progress, or we are? I don't know what's happening. Why aren't we breaking that bias? Why is it still there?
You know, there are all these things that make rounds on social media and in discussion groups, and one of them talks about attitude. And then they add letters, and then they say it's the only thing that adds to 100 when you add the numbers. And yet it's one of the most difficult things to change. So yes, this narrative started a long time ago. When you look at America, when you look at all the other countries, it's been ongoing. And it must continue. However, previously I think it was more conversational. But now I think starting from this year, when we say inequality, what do we mean in absolute terms? What does it translate to for me when I'm at home? What should I do as a mother? What should it mean for me as a taxi driver? Okay? What does it mean for me in hospital? You know, for the longest time, most of us have called male nurses doctor because we know that the girls are the nurses
only, yes.
You know? So those are some of the little biases, but they are not so little because they impact on our nation, they impact on livelihoods, and if you negatively impact a mother, you have negatively impacted a nation, you have negatively impacted generations.
Yeah.
So for me, when it comes to this bias, it's cultural. And culture is made up of many different attitudes and practices and rituals that are based on biases.
True.
And so this year's theme is important, is timely. But it will only make sense if we understand it for what it is. I hope that next year I won't just go to a talk show. I want to go to a place where somebody says it's International Women's Day and we are taking sanitary towels to women in Ruzira. And we are giving pads to girls in what? In schools. Come with us. So I can carry on my head and do.
And do something.
Yeah, not just say something.
That's a conversation I was having with a colleague of mine, Brenda, who I work with, that day. I said, by the way, you can make all the noise on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it. People make all the noise, but you see, it doesn't make sense for you to make all the noise on social media. And yet down there are girls right in your neighborhood even, who don't have help, who don't have the sanitary pads, who are assaulted by, and you know it, and you've done nothing, and you're making noise on social media. So how do we then practically help each other as if move in that direction? So it's one of those conversations.
You know, when I was coming here this morning, my daughter, who is 7, she turned 8 a few days ago, Chloe, she asked me, so mommy, how much are they going to pay you? For going on TV, they should pay you. I said, no, they're not going to pay me. She said, seriously? I said, I'm the one who's paying my debt. And she didn't quite understand it.
Yeah.
The problem is that everybody wants to get paid. Even my 8-year-old says, so you're going to just drive and go and they won't pay you? A whole TV, they should pay you.
Yeah.
So I think for us to start doing, we must also understand the value of sacrifice, of investing, because it's priceless, doing something for your community. One of the reasons I have taken some time off, and people were saying, so why don't you go back into this bank, why don't you go back into this? It's because at the very least I would want to do something that is a social enterprise. It's about time we went back and said, what can we do, for example, in respect to this subject, for the girl child? So I'll tell you what we are trying to do at Check in Africa. We are trying to set up youth upskilling centers. And we are not only looking at the girl child. Because if the boy is not complete, the husband won't be complete.
That's true.
And the cycle will continue. If the girl gets, I'll just give you an example. Those of us who have made it to the boardroom, people don't like to be very open and honest about some of these matters. It's difficult to sustain a marriage. Because when you have a certain conversation, say, there she is because she's making money. There she is because she goes on TV and talks.
There are all these biases.
There she is. This equality thing is creating problems for us. No, but it's because traditionally the boy child has not been prepared for the girl child that we are busy preparing. So when the girl child says, honey, today I feel a little exhausted, could you help me with do the dishes? Says, because she makes more money than me. So I would like to, first of all, the first thing that I think that we should do as a nation is that for every girl child program, it must have a mirroring boy child program. I hear a lot about singers. I don't know about the kojas. Okay. So we need to make both functional because the society is made up of both. When I'm counseling young people that are getting married, I ask them, each one of them to say, I, Judith, expect you, Byron, to do the following. Buy me a car every year, the Range Rover, the hair of 5 million. Right. Ask Byron to write also, I, Byron, expect you, Judith. And then I ask them to cross each one, cross the other's name. So you say, I, Judith, expect you, Judith, to buy myself a Range Rover every month. You see if it's possible.
Yeah.
And why do I say this? So that the family starts at an equal footing without so much expectations, but with the capacity to compromise. I know the viewers should have been expecting me to talk about so much statistics. We've had these conversations.
Yeah.
I'm a realist. I want us to start from the basics. When people start to date, why should a boy want to borrow to take a girl out? Because the girl has been told, we have to kill that culture. It doesn't help build relationships. If you must have you also declare it, it's okay. And you say 20% of my money is going to be Tohuza. But then I'll also contribute to maybe buying yaka. There are women who go home and sit in the dark and wait for the husband.
And yet they have the money right on their phone.
So what are you teaching the girl child? Already there's inequality. You're saying for you're inferior, you can't even buy yaka. Now I know there are many things, even biblically, you're supposed to take care of your wife and all these things.
Yeah.
But men, let's face it, times have evolved. Expenses are through the roof.
Yeah.
If you have the capacity to work together, work together. I also want to talk about equal employment. Byron, I've worked for many years, but I've been shocked. Women pull down women.
Really? You yourselves, you're the ones who pull down yourselves.
So then we become counterproductive. Women count each other's shoes, jewelry. Come on, ladies. When will we create equality when we are our own showstoppers? Many years ago, I was an intern in the central bank. And one day I showed up in pants, and there was mayhem.
It's like, you had done something.
But do you know who was at the center of the mayhem? The ladies. The men were not bothered. When I joined another financial institution, I did the same thing. I got letters from women. How dare you? So you find that we are the ones that kill each other's self-esteem as ladies, many a time.
Yeah.
And then we go and cry wolf.
Yeah.
I have not started on the guys. I know they also do their fair share.
I was about to bring them in, but
and I know it's pretty much a boys' world, Byron.
But it's so there are these new cultures, Ms. Judith, that have come up and said, you know what? We know it's a boys' world, but it's also a girls' world now. I mean, there are songs about it.
We have that song, who runs
the world?
Yes.
Girls. And we are thinking, okay. Yeah, so there's also that cultural thing, Ms. Judith, but also society has, as if, tempted us to say, no, girls, you can run this thing. Can't you run this thing?
Absolutely. And Byron, I celebrate because I am one of those few, you know, previously when the media would interview me and they say, how have you done it? I never used to understand them. But when I sat down to reflect, I asked myself, how many people my age are in the boardroom? How many people my age, I mean girls, have been able to get an education that I did? And it's very humbling. But how many people my age have been stopped? How many people younger than me? I'll tell you that there are 8.9 million girls as we speak today, aged between 10 and 19.
10 and 19.
Sure. I'll tell you that of these 7.3 are between 15 and 24. I'll tell you that we have more than 700,000 of these. Zero school. I'll tell you that Uganda is among the top countries that has the youngest population, 77%.
That's true.
So, of all these statistics, what does that mean? Where is the girl child? Where is the boy child and where is the man? Now, because of years and years of cultural influence, yes, it is a boy's world, and I've experienced it firsthand. That even when you are in a team, and the team leader is a guy, and he doesn't like you, and he doesn't like me, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
If he's faced with the decision to choose one of us, he'll choose me. I've seen that. I've gone through it. It sucks. It's painful. But that same guy that's choosing you has how many daughters? 3 at home. So I think for me, the first thing we need to do as a nation, as individuals, as families, is to reflect and be honest. That's one. Okay. Sounds very small, by the way, but it's fundamental. Because guess what? I can't change you. You can't change you.
I can't change
you. You can't change me. I choose to change me. Maybe for the very younger ones. And the younger ones also, from my 21 years of parenting, my firstborn turned 21. You can't change them. But there's monkey see, monkey do. You can influence them.
Okay.
But if they don't want to do something, especially this generation, oh, you're kidding me.
They won't
do it. Even when they do it, they'll tell you, there's a child told the mother, you're forcing me to stand up in church. I'm standing up, but I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
So we can influence. And there are many organizations that I would like to honor today.
Okay.
Organizations that raised us and others that are raising girl children. We have Girls Not Brides. I saw a statistic somewhere where of late since 2020, about 6,000 girls are now young brides.
Early marriages.
Yeah, but where are the people that impregnated them? Getting on with life, as usual.
Carrying on fairly.
Carrying on. There are organizations that help teenage pregnancy dropout mothers to skill them and reskill them. And maybe let me touch something on education, if you may.
Please, as much as you can.
I think our current education system, we have also ranted about it for too long, how it's obsolete, which is a fact. If the UK says its education system is obsolete and they're trying to improve it, and for us we are saying, wait for us, we are saying Cambridge, you pay through the nose, then you can imagine the real challenges on the ground.
Yeah.
So for me, I think again, let's go back to the circle, let's go back to the center, the home. What sort of core education are we going to give to our children? That even if the biases stop them in the offices, stop them in the parks. I honor these women who drive taxis and borders lately. It's not easy. But if the biases stop them in the rural areas, what skills can we start giving our children in the home that are meant to put them at the forefront and not at the back?
Yeah.
If you can train your child to do hair and they do it well, I see, what's the young lady's name? Gashumba or somebody, Sheila, they tell me that she has hair of millions. 5 million, they put I don't know.
A wig.
Yeah, why not? So the first bias stops with us from looking at certain jobs and we downgrade them.
That's true.
How do we give value to baking and cooking?
Okay.
Yeah.
And not only focus on, because now I think one of the other trends I'll tell you for Judith is, manager of the bank, no, we want it as women. We want to be there. President, we want to be the president.
Yes. I think, let's be very honest, how many banks are in this country?
Quite a number.
You can count on your hands and on your feet and maybe another hand, maybe half of the other. How many girl children did we talk about that are here?
That's 700,000.
Yeah, so
that are out of school.
That narrative is dead. How many presidents can run Uganda?
One.
How many parliamentarians can represent a constitution? So, yes, I want the girls represented in those offices, don't get me wrong. But practically, logically, they all won't fit in there. So where should we put the rest? There are some that want to be mothers. Can we raise them to be the best mothers that they can be with dignity, so that when the husband provides, they don't feel like it's a burden, but they know that this is the cost of someone raising my children. For me, that's where the narrative is. Okay. So that when they stay home, they raise girls who can swim and win Olympic medals, who can run, who can cook,
so in
who can go to parliament.
So in relation to like our topic today, opportunities for the girl child, we should not only focus on these, be a top manager at a bank, there are other things that we can focus on.
Yes.
There is baking, can be a sports medalist, we can do all these other things.
Absolutely. And there's a way we narrow down opportunity. For me, I'm looking at opportunity in its widest sense. The opportunity that a girl child is born and the opportunity of how they are raised. There's an opportunity in the way they are raised, and there's value. And lately I see the Kwajulas, God help us. I don't know what my sons are going to do. There are all these trucks full of things. So people know that now when you raise well your girl child, there's an opportunity of getting so many trucks of so many things. I don't know where they put them, all the sugar and all the meat. It's amazing.
Miss Judith, allow me first going for a break, but when we come back, I want us to explore more. You talked about how both of us, both the boy child and the girl child, are in this together.
Yes.
We can't negate one side and focus on the other.
Shouldn't. The biases, one can't exist without the other. So we'll talk about that.
That is true. All right, we're going to go in for a break, but when we come back, we come back with more here at Church of Uganda Family TV.
Thank you.
With 200 million people aged between 15 and 24, Africa has the youngest population in the world. This can either be an opportunity or a ticking time bomb. At Young and Flourishing Hub, we seek to turn these numbers into an opportunity for Africa to become a global leader. Join us every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Church of Uganda Family TV, as we take you through the discussion of different topics that will enable you to become world-class leaders and mentors, grow your finances, and become world-class innovators. Young and Flourishing, transforming Africa.
Welcome to Coffee Production Tips, brought to you by Uganda Coffee Development Authority. Uganda Coffee Development Authority is the government agency mandated to promote and oversee the coffee industry as a whole by developing research, facilitating coffee production and productivity, by training farmers on good agricultural practices, controlling the quality and improving the marketing of coffee for the benefit of stakeholders, planting coffee seedlings, mulching, training coffee seedlings, and stamping coffee. Farmers are encouraged to adopt good agricultural practices to get high yields, good prices, and better income from coffee. These tips are brought to you by Uganda Coffee Development Authority.
Whether it is Katogo, Chikomando, Rolex Majasa to Nyanyambisi. Man, wherever I am, I enjoy Chinda you with your TV channels on my phone.
Nyumira omulembe omupya ogujjudde ebisanyusa omuli emikutu gya TV egisukka mu 8 n'egya radio nga kw'otadde ne zifirimu ng'osinziirira wonna w'oli. Genda mu App Store oteeke app ya UTV channels ku simu yo olwo onyumira ennaku 3 ng'olabira bwereere ewatali kozesa data.
Yo TV channels, the power is in your hands.
Brethren, yes we can. We can clear the debt of church house, and I want to invite you to give generously to the love gift. May God bless you as you give.
Staying with us here, Church of Uganda Family TV. We continue with the discussion, opportunities for the girl child. I'm with Miss Judith Owembabazi, who is the founder and CEO of Goldbird Communications. Before the break, we were discussing some of the foundations that we need to understand, that everything starts in the family. How you were raised, how you grew up, because that then influences your as if the way you think about the girl child, the way even the boy treats the girl child. And thank you so much, Judith, again for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Good morning, our viewers once again. Yes, I took the liberties earlier on to dwell so much on the foundation, which is the family.
Yes.
Because we all know, even in the Bible, it is clear, depending on which foundation you build your house, you know the results.
Yes.
Therefore, at a foundational level, we cannot exhaust this enough.
Yeah.
But as we raise our children, let's be mindful to raise the man we want to see as an employer, as a husband, as a neighbor, as an educator, even as a parent. Yeah. Let's raise the girl we want to see as a mother, as an employee, as a sister, as a relative, as a neighbor, as anything, as your nurse, as your doctor, as your pilot, as your parliamentarian.
Okay. Ms. Judith, I want to ask you a particular question. You know, today we're talking about opportunities for the girl child, and I'll tell you for free that there are some ladies out there, there are some men out there as well, who think that, by the way, there is some sort of barrier. There is so much that girl can do with your levels of experience, with what you've gone through personally. Are they actually there? Are these opportunities actually there? And what can the girls do to get to these opportunities?
Okay. Byron, there are immense opportunities. The same way God gave all of us 24 hours. The girl child has 24 hours. The girl child has some unique attributes that sometimes make it difficult for them to take all the 24 hours and utilize them the same way the boy child does. But also there are biases. Now, one of the biases stems from self-esteem and all these things. Yeah. But the opportunities are there in every single industry. I come from a matriarchal family who are all raised by our mothers. And one of my aunties, I remember, lived in a village and she roofed her own house And in those days, I think it was blasphemous
for
a woman to do something like that.
Yeah.
So they wrote her name in the book of the men in the village.
Interesting.
She wasn't educated, but their father raised them in such a way that they could be men and women. What bias did that create for them? They couldn't sustain the marriages. That's why we come from the matriarchal side.
Yeah.
I mean, if a woman climbs up on the roof, by the time she comes down, the husband has left. Because he says the next thing she's going to do.
I don't want to stay to find out.
Yeah. So the opportunities are there, and yes, girls should climb on the roofs. Girls should become pilots. Girls should become engineers. They should become doctors. They should be on the social media and become the Oprah Winfreys of this world. They should run the show because they have the hands, the feet, the brains, and everything that the young man have. And they eat from the same table at home with the young man.
Yeah.
However, you will allow me to keep referring to the foundation. As parents, as sisters, as brothers, as pastors, as priests, we must build the girl's self-esteem. There are things that are scandalized. I don't know how many girls can request a boyfriend to go and buy them pads. I don't know how easy it is for you, Byron, to walk to a counter and you say, I would like to have 3 packets of sanitary towels, please be quick, my girlfriend needs them.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one.
I'll tell you, it's hard.
Yeah. So those are the biases, because for menstruation is real for us.
Yes.
There are real cramps. The hormones are raging. There are real mood swings and all these things.
Yeah.
So assuming I'm sitting an exam with you, how level is that ground? Yeah, I'm worried. You see these adverts, sometimes people don't pay a lot of attention to what they allude to. I've seen Ore's adverts, and the girls are worried about the dot on the skirt.
Yeah.
It's every woman's nightmare for the rest of your life. You stand up, if you have a girlfriend, even if you don't know her by the way, you tell her, can you first check for me, please? If all is well.
Yeah.
If people are not putting stigma around it, it would be okay. I would stand up and say, excuse me, Jay, you need to pass through the bathroom, and I wouldn't feel mortified, and you wouldn't feel like a hero. It would be normal.
But sadly, it's not the reality.
Yeah. So, self-esteem, confidence, looking at the different things that stigmatize the girl child, that stigmatize the boy child too. I was sharing with a young lady, and she told me she went to visit her boyfriend, and then in midst she needed to use the bathroom to change, and that the boy was so scandalized, and the relationship ended.
What? Why? Anyway.
That he saw the red drop on his bathroom floor, and that was
it.
Yeah. So I kept wondering. So when he grows up, when he gets married, when the wife gives birth, labor, what are we going to do? Yes.
Yeah.
So the biases shroud the opportunities. However, as a girl child that has fought my way, I educated myself at the university. From first year to third year, my second degree, my master's. And I didn't have much, I didn't have anyone, but I only had the confidence that I'm going to make it, no matter what. Why? I'm an only child and my mother is old. I had no options, I have to take care of her. So if you can find motivation, any girl child that is watching, for me, that's an opportunity already. I am being deliberate not to tell you that there are opportunities on TV, there are opportunities in hospitals. That has been said and done. I am looking at the softer things today. There's an opportunity within yourself if you can say, I will do it. I've met albinos, people who are discriminated against. I met some young ladies, even when on campus there was one, she loved herself. She did her hair, she went out clubbing, she did things. And that humbled you. Why? She chose and said, whereas I don't have the skin pigmentation, I am a whole human being. I have special needs, so I'll have sunglasses and wear a hat from time to time when it's too hot. So the the parents and the girl children themselves, if your father, your mother doesn't give it to you, give it to yourself. The confidence.
You talk about self-esteem, and I want to agree with you that you interact with a few young girls, even girls my age, 27, 26, who their self-esteem is just bad. They are thinking, I don't think I can do this or this. There is just this, and I can tell that it's from way back. It's from foundation.
Because we are raised. They are telling us a girl doesn't sit like that. A girl doesn't talk like that. My mom taught me to whistle. But even when I whistle, she says the girl doesn't whistle. But my girl
taught me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girl doesn't whistle.
So there are already those.
So there are so many don'ts that even when you have an opportunity, you don't know if when you exercise it, you will get hurt in many ways. I want to talk about the ceiling.
Please.
You have seen people celebrating themselves or media celebrating others that they've shattered the ceiling.
Shattered the ceiling.
For me, Byron, that's confirmation for you that the ceilings exist. It is still pretty much a boy's world. So much so that even when someone has not shattered a real ceiling, they will go and put themselves in the newspaper and say, I shattered a ceiling.
Particular ceiling somewhere.
But why? Why do I not blame them? Because they know their journey. They know their journey. You see, some people go wild when they graduate. Why? She's the first graduate in the whole family.
Yeah.
It's a ceiling. Why? Because whenever the money was not enough, they said, let your brother finish.
Then we'll come to you.
If you see, for you, like you're a girl, you can get married, man can take care of you.
Yeah.
And so the ceilings are real. But also the opportunities are real. And I thank God that with urbanization, with the consistent discussion, with days like Women's Day, with even crazy days like Valentine's Days, men slowly are beginning to appreciate women. And also women are beginning to appreciate themselves, to know that they deserve. You see, one of the biases is that we don't even feel worthy. You meet a guy and you think, oh, that guy is from a good family, he's handsome, I don't deserve him, so what he says I do.
I will do.
Because I know what's back home, so I'll hang in there. Then abuse comes, whether it's emotional or physical, because you've given someone permission. But I know that the generations ahead will probably cope a little bit better than us. Although it also has its problems. Because for me, I don't believe that equal opportunities or gender equality necessarily means that I become a man and a man becomes me. The number of muscles you have and things, it's different from me. God modeled me as a lady, as a mother, as so many things. Actually, I'll share with you a joke I read somewhere, that when God was creating men or boys, in the brain, he opened it up and put little boxes, beautiful boxes. Each is different from the other. Each is labeled mommy, car, mother-in-law, my daughter. And then for job, they don't mix. When he deals with job, he deals with job, finishes, wraps it and puts it back. And for us ladies, fearfully, wonderfully made. One box, everything is in there. Aunties, uncles, job, chicken, traffic, sister-in-law. So when you're having a conversation about job with a girl child or with a woman, for a woman, job is connected to handbag, to car keys, to missed date. So you'd be telling, even the other day you didn't take me out on a date, and you're thinking, we're talking about the job here.
We're talking about your job, man. Why don't you focus on that?
So, so you find that, for me, therefore, equality in the sense of 1 + 1 = 2 is not possible. But equality in the sense that one is fearful and wonderfully made, and the other one is also complete and complementary, and therefore they together can move forward and innovate and create amazing things. For me, is what's plausible.
I think one of the things actually we talked about last week on International Women's Day with my colleague Brenda, we were just talking about that, yes, there is gender equality, but what does that exactly mean? Because we already have different roles already. Yes. We can't be equal. You can't...
Yeah, you can't carry pregnancy.
Yes, I can't be pregnant, you can. Yeah. I can do some things that you can't. So equality, what does it exactly mean?
Yeah. For me, whereas we use the word equality, I guess it came from the fact that for the longest time, women were denied certain things. Don't eat chicken. Yeah, I have a young man in my house who doesn't eat chicken because he loved his mom so much, and they denied the mother to eat chicken and things like this, and eggs. So he doesn't eat them. Like, he doesn't eat goat's meat. He only eats cow meat, and you know, all these things. Yeah. So for me, equality is actually a lot more about knowing that everybody is a wholesome being, and to that extent, they can equally take charge, equally partake of an opportunity on the table, and therefore equal opportunities. Not necessarily that now, because we are equal, so I cease to be a mother, I cease to be a wife. There are roles that a wife must fulfill. There are roles that a girl must fulfill, that a boy must fulfill. For example, when at night, if daddy is not at home, I ask the boys to go and make sure the door is closed. They must keep the girls secure. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. There's a gentleman who wrote this book, Think Like...
Act like a lady.
Think like a man.
Act like a lady and think like a man.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's very clear, Steve Harvey. He says if a gentleman, a boy child, does not attain a certain level of economic freedom, he'll never make a good husband. Why? Because innately you're wired to protect and provide. Innately, as a woman, even as a general manager, I would expect my husband to give me something. Why? Innately, I am a mother. I will receive. That's why I even receive your seed and give birth. So there's no amount of equality that can change that.
With Judith, I want, even as we come to the end, I want to talk about two things. One is there is this new breed of feminism that has come for us as men. Some of us, I'll tell you for free, I talked to a few individuals, a few guys, my friends, and the truth is we're a bit scared. We are scared of you. We are scared of you ladies, because you're very, very aggressive concerning this topic of feminism. The whole point of men are trash, men are this, men are did this. Hey, it's quite real.
I don't know if my daughter Ashley, she's in Strathmore University, is watching. Ashley, I hope you're watching. Ashley is a feminist that I didn't know about. I think the kind that you're afraid of. Why do I say that? My son recently told me, the brother that follows, I said, oh, that one is a feminist. I just blocked her. She gives me negative energy. So I'm a realist, so I'm discussing to you, with you, practical stuff that's happening under my roof. My son is turning 18 soon. Ashley is 21. So I said, why would you say that about your sister? I said, oh, anything that touches a man hurting a woman, she's happy to take you to the gallows. No, I think that's not right. Because again, even when you're that feminist, you will still need the gentleman. And you don't need him scared out of his wits that he spends the night with a knife under his pillow to defend himself. So that's why I told you that this conversation is not complete if we don't bring the boy child to the table. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't know that boys have emotions. I thought they are just rough. I didn't know that they get heartbroken. I didn't know that if you broke up with him, he gets hurt. I thought they are the ones who break up with you. They're the ones who choose if they want to go with you or if they want to stop the relationship. I thought that as a girl, I didn't have any rights.
Even us when we are growing up, that's how we are raised up to be like, but you're crying for what? Please, move on quickly. Girl. Move on quickly, please.
So but then, as I raise my children, and I have many people that call me mommy, and I send you greetings. Boys and girls, I see they're all vulnerable. Emotionally, socially, financially. There's still that inequality, whichever way we look at it. So for me, I think the biases, we must stop from a family level. We must stop as employers and employees. We must stop as educationists. We must stop as individuals. Hey guys, God gave us endowments. He gave us a conscience. He gave us free will. We are able to tell right from wrong. Do unto others what you would want done unto you. So I think even the extreme feminism, I don't agree with it. And actually I pray to God that you're not, but it is okay to run a cause for the girl child. But it's not okay to lose your head and want people jailed and you get all too emotional about it. I think we need to get logical about things, not emotional. When we get emotional, we still lose it along the way, because you know, emotions sort of eat logic. True. So that's my take. And if you don't mind me saying, I would like to say that there are real opportunities out there for the girls. Even those who are at home, you can weave mats and sell them. Social media came, don't sit on your phone and chat and gossip and read, do funny TikToks. You can use that opportunity to sell things from home even when you don't have rent. Even as a housewife, you can do your own talk show like this at home on social media. You can innovate, you can do plants and sell them. You can do it, you can be the greater professions, which are also, in future we should talk about this, they are disappearing. I mean, I can do an online doctor and go to the pharmacy and buy medicine. So some of the professions that we cherished very much, people don't like to talk about level marketing. Well, let me tell you something. Level marketing is a new way of doing business. You take away finance, you take away marketing, you take away sales, you take away all those costs, you take away insurance. And you have these people, I call you for coffee, I say I'm selling this product. I am incurring all the costs. The manufacturer and distributor are happy, they are not incurring costs. So we must understand things dynamically for both the girl child and the boy child. And hello Ugandans, let's put away the pity parties. We are this nation, we are the ones building it. At government at Yambe has not done so. So get up and know that you're the government, you're the mother, you have a boy in you. We all know this. Don't we have male hormones? You have a girl in you. Let's create the equality within us so that then we can bring it forth. And it starts with me. It starts with you. There's nobody else that's going to do this for us.
That is very true. Miss Judith Owembabazi, with a few things that really get to us. I think for me, my take home, just two things. One, that it's foundational. It starts from when you are a child. So if you're a father, if you want to be a father, if you're going to be a husband, the way you groom your children, that's the way they will have their worldview like that. And secondly, self-esteem. Let's not pull each other down. Let's see how we can both, we can both win. And I think, by the way, we just need to make this message clear that, by the way, there is enough room for both of us, so we can both win.
I think it's the Muslims who say every child is born with their own rizq. right? So it simply means there's enough room for everyone. And everything. So you will allow me sneak in something here.
Yeah.
We are not complete if we also don't look at the whole environment.
Yeah.
So I'm an environmentalist. You need to plant them trees. You need to nurture them.
Yeah.
For you, if you can learn to love a plant, why would you fail to love a person? If you can nurture a dog at home and a chicken and a cat, why would you not be able to nurture your own wife? We must understand that we are part of the ecosystem. Whether you're a boy, a girl, a tree, a cow, we are all part of this ecosystem.
And we need each other.
And that's how we connect back to God. And for me, again, all of this talk is hogwash if we don't know God. We must teach our children to truly know God. And I'm not talking about being religious, my friends. I'm talking about knowing God. Because when you know God, then you know who you are. When you know who you are as God's child, then the biases don't stop you.
Because then God has already defined who you are.
In His covenant, it is clear you're God's child and you partake of everything that's within His kingdom.
Yeah.
And then also, you soon realize that it's not about being materialistic.
Our ladies, okay.
Yeah. I know. They want this, they want that. With time, you realize that you're already enough. So girl children are enough. Boy children are enough. But they don't know. Why don't they know? We have conditioned them to forget that.
Yeah.
So society needs to change the conditioning and rebuild, reconstruct the narrative that teaches each one of us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made and we are whole and therefore we can go in a race and run. I love the marathon. The guy that's the pace setter never takes the medal.
True.
But he's happy to go and pace set. That means they know who they are.
Yeah. I get you.
You see? And the guy that takes the medal doesn't look at the neighbor, looks at his own stopwatch. And even the last one, you see him celebrate. Why? Because this time he did better than last time.
Yeah.
The only competition should be between you yesterday and you today. If we looked at it that way, then the point of comparison and inequalities and ceilings would never be our showstopper. Now that's my take, and I thank you.
Thank you too so much for joining us this morning. It's been a lovely discussion, I must say. We surely want to have you again one of these days to discuss other matters of national importance.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There you go. In case where do we find you if we need you?
Okay, so Goldbird Communications is located in Bukoto, plot 1284, Judith Close. It's off Kawesa bypass, like behind Cayenne. It's pretty easy to find. And yes, it's also my home. So that's why I told you today I'm talking from practicals. That even within your home, you can set apart a space to innovate and to help others. So I am doing a lot of upskilling for youth. A lot of amazing things are happening. People are doing welding, people are doing marketing communications, people are getting cancelled in different ways. We are stopping addictions. We have authors. There's enough room for everyone, you know.
All right. Please, as much as you can, visit Miss Judith in Bukoto and find out more and see how you can engage and also be part of the ecosystem, I called it. We need to wrap this up. Thank you so much, Judith, for coming. We'll surely
Thank you. It's been an honor for me to be here this morning.
Yes, and that will be it. We'll see you again tomorrow at 7 a.m. here at Church of Uganda Family TV. Thank you for staying with us. In case you have any comments and anything you need to say concerning today, what you learned and whatnot, follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but also YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Just put in your comments in the comment section, and we'll probably, if you have questions for Judith as well, probably pass it on to her as well. This has been Morning Glory. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a good morning.
Do you know that you can now enjoy great enriching shows anywhere through the Family TV app? Here